Self-love versus self-obsession. Have you ever thought about being obsessed with yourself? Have you ever heard people saying, oh, if you're too obsessed with yourself, you're full of yourself, you're conceited, you have a big ego? But what if you can take some of these simple things that we consider bad, obsessed, and use it in the right way where you can feel better about yourself? Do you want to be that person that doesn't like yourself and you're obsessed with not liking yourself? Or would you rather turn an obsession, or ADHD, as people say, I have ADD. Well, why don't you ADD it to a point where you're obsessed with feeling better about yourself? Now what you can do is you can use evidence-based techniques like Mind Hygiene that are supported by medical evidence-based therapies like cognitive therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, and rational emotive behavioral therapy, and use some of these terms to your advantage so you can feel good about yourself every second. When you look at this image on the left, you can see me loving myself. That means I don't have anything bad to say about myself. I'm not at that point where I was at years before that, where I was drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, smoking marijuana, doing drugs, gambling, and not liking myself, and convincing myself that I wasn't a good person, to where I've been sober for about 4 years in the image on the left. But when you look at the image on the right, I was obsessed with loving myself more. And I'll talk about this more in the video when we come to our teaching points on how you can feel better and live better and make a clear distinction between self-love and self-obsession. I'm dhruvaMD, a practicing board-certified family doctor that lives brilliantly bipolar. I've been sober from alcohol, drugs, gambling debt, eating disorder, and self-hate for the last 6.5 years with a sober date of July 31st, 2018. And I speak about this concept that I've developed called Mind Hygiene, where you can feel better about yourself by being obsessed with loving yourself and then inspiring others along the way. This process, I would confidently say, works about 80 to 85% of the time. That means that you can feel good 80 to 85% of the day. What would that feel like for you to love yourself 80 to 85% of the day? Look, I get it that I'm a board certified doctor, but that has nothing to do with my journey. If you look at my journey, I was in juvenile detention when I was younger. We were on welfare. I was broke. Our car got repossessed. I was presented opportunities, and I got lucky too. I was lucky to be surrounded by people that are elevated, that are doing more than me. Instead of being in jail or being in prison for the rest of my life, I was able to work at a prison. Imagine that. If I can do some of these things, there are possibilities for you as well. The journey may not look similar, but understand that you can love yourself and you can be obsessed with it in a healthy way. Well, how do you do that? How do you believe in yourself, you love yourself, you believe in your limitations, and you're obsessed with being better, and you don't let go, you don't block out, you don't put to the side, you don't be strong when it comes to some of these silly things like disorder, disease, or problem? You don't want to call anxiety disorder. You don't want to call depression an episode. You don't want to call your attention as a deficit. Don't do those things. I'm a board certified doctor, but still I don't like to use those words because we think it's a problem. No, I have attention deficit. Oh, but why can't I play video games? Oh, I have anxiety, but why is it that I stop at a red light? Am I scared that I'm gonna crash? Of course. Do I have attention deficit? No, I can play the video games just fine. I just don't like to do certain things. And then I wanna blame it on a disorder. Oh, it's my depression? No, I get sad. Of course I do. And you know what? I'm gonna lie down and I'm gonna eat in bed if I feel like it. That doesn't mean I'm depressed. I've calculated that in. I am obsessed with loving myself and finding evidence-based techniques where I don't need a doctor, a therapist, a coach. I don't need to talk to anybody. And I don't need to read about anything. I want to know what I'm thinking by writing these things down myself. Now that brings us to teaching point number 1. Love what you're not good at. A lot of the times people will say you can do whatever you want if you believe it. I don't disagree with that, but I want to write down what I'm not good at. And that's when I can confidently say I love myself. And I want to write down and I want to understand it. I don't want to fix, overcome, or control it. For example, on the left, you can see this person that loves himself, but he's not good at certain things. He's not good at working out. He's not good at eating healthy. He's eating a lot of sugar. He's lying down. Sure, he's not doing some of the other things that he was doing before, drinking, drugging, and lying. But that person on the right is obsessed with being better. Now, I'm not some workout guru, I'm not a fitness influencer, I'm not an influencer and all, I don't give advice to anybody, okay? I'm just trying to inspire you and keep myself afloat by inspiring you and my patients to be a better person. I feel that this works. Not only does this work for me, it's worked for thousands of my patients. Me being a practicing doctor has allowed me to have the unfair advantage of seeing people transform all the time, and I just want to share that with you. Self-love really begins in harnessing what you're good at and then trying to understand and believe in what you're not good at, but not thinking that it's a problem, saying that, look, that's a limitation. I'm not eating sugar. Oh, but I should probably learn about it. Maybe let me talk to somebody that is doing a little bit better. At that time, maybe I was a little bit obsessed with thinking that I knew a little bit better, which was not true. When I had a virtual visit with the doctor, they were like, do you know that eating a bowl of spinach is the same thing as eating like 3 Skittles? And you know these things, but you don't know it. Then I realized that what I need to do is shift to a beginner's mindset. And then I became obsessed with learning how to work out again, learning how to eat right again. I took a beginner's mindset. I believed in my limitations. And that's where you can find success. A 2017 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that people who focus on their strengths report higher satisfaction and higher self-esteem. Let's talk about some of these words. Positive psychology. I don't like the word positive. If you've seen my other videos, I don't like the word judgment. In Mind Hygiene, we don't judge. Positive, negative emotions don't exist. Now, I don't like the word strength either too much when it comes to emotions because I don't want to have weak emotions either. That's a judgment. So what do you do then? You just believe in yourself, be confident in what you're not good at, and use those to your advantage and be obsessed with the process. I'm not good at learning about sugar. Let me follow that other person who has diabetes. Let me talk to my patient who stopped using insulin because they're running and eating better. Now I'm talking about believing in my limitations. I don't think it's positive or negative, and my self-esteem is better, so I do like that word. And remember, whatever I'm doing may not work for you. I'm just trying to start a spark and inspire you to be a better version of yourself. Teaching point number 2, embrace your self-limiting beliefs. Have you ever found yourself saying, look, I don't love myself, I hate myself. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Oh, that's too hard. Oh, that's too difficult. Oh, it's my disorder. Oh, no, but it's my disease. Oh, am I too stressed out? Oh, but that person said it's my anxiety. There's this person I was talking to. Oh my goodness. How many times did this person say that I'm anxious? Sure, I get it, fine. I'm anxious, okay? I don't blame you for saying that. She's like, you're having panic attacks, you're anxious. I'm like, how many times are you gonna diagnose me as anxious? First of all, she has nothing to do with the medical field, okay? She does have a couple of health conditions that she's trying to work through, bless her heart. If I was to believe that, if I was to believe and have that belief about myself that I'm an anxious person, imagine where I'm gonna be. Now, I do have anxiety, but I'm gonna stop at the stoplight so I don't die and crash. Great, I'm using my anxiety to my advantage. Oh, I have attention deficit? Well, I'll show you attention deficit. I can play video games. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend like me doing this camera, putting this microphone on, hanging out here is like a video game, and I'm gonna make sure that I focus on it because I don't have attention deficit. There are things that I just don't like. It's not a problem, I just haven't inspired from it yet. Now what you're doing is you're taking these rational emotive behavioral techniques, writing it down. Remember, you wanna take time to write these things down. At least take 1 second every 90 minutes and say, what do I love about myself and what do I not like about myself? How can I be obsessed with being better? And remember, this process can take a long time. Mind Hygiene is based on medical evidence where you don't need me or anybody else. However, imagine this being like a workout program. What are you gonna do? Go into the gym and get biceps right away? Are you gonna get nice shoulders right away? It could take years. It could take years. You have to be obsessed with the process every second. And if you can do these simple, actionable, evidence-based steps every 90 minutes for 1 to 90 seconds, you're gonna do great. A study in the Journal of Emotion found that people who accept and embrace and understand their emotions accept themselves better, love themselves more, and are not as ashamed about talking about it. We don't have to talk about it to anybody, okay? You can feel it first, and you can write these things down and then throw them away if you want to. Some people call it journaling, some people call it writing in a diary. I just say it's a full-on meditation. Mind hygiene your mind, recondition your thoughts, and feel better about yourself. At the end of the day, I truly believe that when you look at the image on the left, you can see a guy who's doing well, great. but not obsessed with doing well. Now, when I got obsessed with doing well, I just cut things out. Do not do list. I took action steps. I scheduled it into my schedule. Maybe I didn't stick to it exactly, but I said, look, I'm gonna go to the gym from 4 to 5:30, and from 5:30 to 6:30, I'm gonna only eat protein. And then from 6:30 to 7:30, I might eat some carbs. From 7:30 to 8:30, I'll eat as much sugar as I want. But by that time, that's too much time that's elapsed. What have I done? I love myself because I've kept the promise. I'm obsessed with it because I'm writing about it, and I'm taking action, and I'm keeping the promises that I make to myself. That's true self-love. It's where you say you're gonna do something and you do it when nobody's watching you. If this video resonated with you, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'll be dropping videos every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, I will be dropping extra content on Fridays and shorts throughout the week. My channel previously got hacked and deleted. I recovered some of the data, but I was in a bad state for a few months. Now I'm asking everybody who resonates with the message to put an inspirational 90-second coaching gem in the comments below. Let us know what you're doing to love yourself and how you feel about self-love versus self-obsession. And if you were to take an image of yourself about how you feel you want to be, what is it that you think you can become? You're not an anxious person, you just have not used anxiety to your advantage. If you can write some of these things down, it will not change your life, not transform your life. You'll be able to love your life a little bit better because there is no end goal to this. You just have to keep on going. And when you become a multimillionaire, when you get a six-pack, when you have 1 million subscribers, what are you gonna do to maintain it? That's the big thing, right? And I'm trying to inspire people along that journey and notification bell. Also, there will be a link in the description to a Mind Hygiene PDF that you can download, you can follow. Remember, it's like any workout program. There's medical evidence to support these techniques where you can love yourself, you can see that other people are doing it, you can see that you can develop healthy obsessions and feel better about yourself. Namaste.